Are you talking about these people, Betsy? Betsy? This man here?
No, I don't. I see it.
This is blue tape. This won't work.
Yeah, these are really the bitter. Yeah.
Good afternoon.
Here we go.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Francis Adelson Shakespeare Players rendition of As You Like It, our 13th Shakespeare production. For you recent members, and for those fortunate to have been at HILR knowing Francis Adelson, our beloved founder, is now 104 years old, living in Florida, where she still puts on Shakespeare readings, and keeps tabs by phone on our productions. Who among us will ever forget her poignant vignette from the last act of King Lear, where she played the parts of both Lear and Cordelia? It's amazing. Within our play today, Duke Sr. says, perhaps remarking on our cast, "True is it that we have seen better days." Perhaps we are indeed well within Shakespeare's 7 Ages of Man, but just as Vanessa Redgrave and James Earl Jones are currently treading the boards in the Old Vic Theatre in London in Much Ado About Nothing, we here, within the magic of the Grossman Common, HILR's Globe Theatre, the cast of lovers will become as youths. This afternoon's production is a pastoral romantic comedy, Shakespeare's light-hearted paean to love. Hearken to the wonderful magic of Shakespeare's words as we watch the plot unfurl. To spread the joy and spare the memorization, there will be 3 Rosalinds and 2 Celias. We will have 1 10-minute intermission. Oh, and now I commend to you our play As You Like It.
As I remember, Adam, it was upon this fashion, bequeathed me by my father's will but poor 1,000 crowns, and as thou sayest, he charged my brother on his blessing to breed me well. And there begins my sadness. He keeps me rustically at home, or to speak more properly, stays me here at home unkept. For call you that keeping for a gentleman of my birth, that differs not from the stalling of an ox? This is it, Adam, that grieves me, and the spirit of my father, which I think is within me, begins to mutiny at this servitude.
Yonder comes my master, your brother.
Go apart, Adam. Now shall hear how he will shake me up.
Now, sir, what make you here?
Nothing. I am not taught to make anything.
What mar you then, sir?
Marry, sir, I am helping you to mar that which God made, a poor unworthy brother of yours with idleness.
Know you where you are, sir?
Oh, sir, very well, here in your orchard.
What? Boy, wilt thou lay hands on me? Villain, let me go, I say.
Spirit of my father grows strong in me, and I will no longer endure it. Therefore, allow me the poor lottery my father left me by testament. With that, I will go buy my fortunes.
And what wilt thou do? Beg when that is spent? Well, sir, get you in. You shall have some part of your will. Get you with him, you old dog.
Old dog? Is that my reward? Most true. I have lost my teeth in your service. God be with my old master. He would not have said such a word.
Is it even so? Begin you to grow upon me. I will physic your rankness, and yet give no 1,000 crowns neither. Holla, Dennis!
Calls, your worship.
Was not Charles, the Duke's wrestler, here to speak with me? Call him in. 'Twill be a good way. And tomorrow the wrestling is.
Good morrow to your worship.
Good Monsieur Charles. What's the new news at the new court?
Oh, the old Duke is banished by his younger brother, the new Duke.
As I understand, 3 or 4 loving lords have put themselves into voluntary exile with him. Can you tell if Rosalind, the Duke's daughter, be banished with her father?
Oh no, for the Duke's daughter, her cousin, so loves her that she would have followed her into exile.
Yea, or have died to stay behind her. They were ever from their cradles bred together, and never 2 ladies loved as they do. Where will the old Duke live?
They say he is already in the forest of Arden, and many merry men with him.
And there they live like the old Robin Hood of England. What, you wrestle tomorrow before the new Duke?
I am given, sir, secretly, to understand that your younger brother, Orlando, hath a disposition to come in disguised to try a fall against me. Your brother is but young and tender, and I, for your love, I would be loath to foil him.
Charles, I thank thee for thy love to me, which thou shalt find I will most kindly requite. I'll tell thee, Charles, it is the stubbornest young fellow of France, full of ambition, a secret and villainous contriver against me, his natural brother. Therefore, I had as lief thou didst break his neck as his finger.
If he come tomorrow, I'll give him his payment.
Farewell, good Charles. Now will I stir this gamester. I hope I shall see an end of him. For my soul, yet I know not why, hates nothing more than he. This wrestler shall clear all.
I pray thee, Rosalind, sweet my coz, be merry.
Dear Celia, unless you could teach me to forget a banished father, you must not learn me how to remember any extraordinary pleasure.
You know my father hath no child but I, and truly when he dies, thou shalt be his heir. Therefore, what he has taken away from thy father perforce, I will give thee again in affection. Therefore, my sweet Roz, my dear Roz, be merry.
From henceforth I will, coz.
Mistress, you must come away to your father.
Were you made the messenger?
Oh, no, by mine honor, but I was bid to come for you.
You'll be whipped for slander one of these days.
The more pity, when fools may not speak wisely, what wise men do foolishly.
By my troth thou sayest true, for since the little wit that fools have was silenced, the little foolery that wise men have makes a great show. Ah, here comes Monsieur LeBeau,
Oh, with his mouth full of news.
which he will put on us as pigeons feed their young. Bonjour, Monsieur LeBeau, what's the news?
Fair princess, you have missed much good wrestling sport. I will tell you the beginning, and if it please your ladyships, you may see the end, for the best is yet to do. And here, where you are, they are coming to perform it.
Well, the beginning, that is dead and buried.
There comes an old man and his 3 sons. The eldest of the 3 wrestled with Charles, the Duke's wrestler, which Charles, in a moment, threw him, broke 3 of his ribs. There's a little chance of life in him. So he served the 2nd, and so the 3rd. Yonder they lie, the poor old man, their father, making pitiful dole over them.
But what is the sport, Monsieur, that the ladies have lost?
That which I stole you.
Thus men may grow wiser every day. It is the first time that ever I heard breaking of ribs was sport for ladies.
But is there any else longs to see this broken music in his sides? Is there yet another dotes upon rib breaking? Shall we see this wrestling, cousin?
Come on, since the youth will not be entreated his own peril on his forwardness. How now, daughter and cousin? Are you crept hither to see the wrestling?
Aye, my liege, so please you give us leave.
You will take little delight in it, I can tell you. In peril of the challenger's youth, I would fain dissuade him, but he will not be entreated. Speak to him, ladies. See if you can move him.
Young gentlemen, your spirits are too bold for your years. Now, you've seen cruel proof of this man's strength. Embrace your own safety and give over this attempt.
Do, young sir. Your reputation shall not therefore be misprized. We will make it our suit to the Duke that the wrestling might not go forward.
I beseech you, punish me not with your hard thoughts, wherein I confess me much guilty to deny such fair and excellent ladies anything. But let your fair eyes and gentle wishes go with me to my trial, wherein if I be foiled, there be but one shamed who was never gracious, if killed, one dead who is willing to be so. Only in the world I fill up a place which may be better supplied when I have made it empty.
Oh, what little strength I have, I would it were with you.
Your heart's desires be with you.
Come, where is this young gallant?
And you mean to mock me after you should not have mocked me before, but come my ways!
May you be thy speed, young man.
No more! No more! How dost thou, Charles? Bear him away! What is thy name, young man?
Orlando, my liege, youngest son of Sir Roland Boys.
I would thou hadst been son to some man else. The world esteemed your father honorable, but I did find him still mine enemy. But fare thee well. Thou art a gallant youth. I would thou hadst told me of another father.
Gentle cousin, let us go thank him and encourage him. My father's rough and envious disposition sticks me at heart. Sir, you have well deserved, and if you do keep your promises in love but justly, as you have exceeded all promise, your mistress shall be happy.
Gentleman, wear this for me, one who's out of suits with fortune, who would give more, but that her hand lacks means. Shall we go, cuz?
Aye, fare ye well, fair gentlemen.
Cannot I say I thank you? My better parts are all thrown down, and that which here stands up, a mere lifeless block.
He calls us back. My pride fell with my fortunes. I'll ask him what he would. Did you call, sir? Sir, you have wrestled well and have overcome more than your enemies.
Will you go, cuz?
Fare you well.
What passion hangs these weights upon my tongue? I cannot speak to her, yet she urged conference. Oh, poor Orlando, thou art overthrown. Or Charles, or something weaker, Master Z.
Good sir, I do in friendship counsel you to leave this place. Such, albeit you have deserved high commendation, true applause and love, yet such is now the Duke's condition that he misconstrues all that you have done.
I thank you, sir, and pray you tell me this. Which of the two is daughter of the Duke that here was at the wrestling?
Neither his daughter, if we judge by manners, but yet indeed the lesser is his daughter. The other is daughter to the banished Duke, and here detained by her usurping uncle to keep his daughter company, whose loves are dearer than the natural bond of sisters. But I continue that this Duke has taken displeasure against his gentle niece. Sir, fare you well.
Fare you well. Thus must I, from the smoke into the smother, from tyrant Duke unto a tyrant brother. but heavenly Rosalind.
Why, cousin, why, Rosalind, Cupid have mercy, not a word.
Not one to throw at a dog.
Oh, come, come, wrestle with thy affections.
They take the part of a better wrestler than myself.
Oh, a good wish upon you. Is it possible, on such a sudden, you should fall into so strong a liking with old Sir Rowland's youngest son?
Let me love him for that. And do you love him too? Look, here comes the Duke.
With his eyes full of anger.
Mistress, dispatch you with your safest haste, and get you from our court.
Me, uncle?
You, cousin, within these 10 days. If that thou beest found so near our public court as 20 miles, thou diest for it.
I beseech your grace, let me the knowledge of my fault bear with me.
Thou art thy father's daughter, there's enough.
Oh, so was I when your highness took his dukedom. So was I when your highness banished him. Treason is not inherited, my lord.
Dear sovereign, hear me speak.
She is too subtle for thee, and her smoothness, her very silence, and her patience speak to the people, and they pity her. Thou art a fool. She robs thee of thy name. Firm and irrevocable is my doom which I have passed upon her. She is banished.
Pronounce that sentence then on me, my liege. I cannot live out of her company.
You are a fool. You needs provide yourself. If you outstay the time upon mine honor, and in the greatness of my word, you die.
Oh, my poor Rosalind, whither wilt thou go? Wilt thou change fathers? I would give thee mine. I charge thee, be not thou more grieved than I am.
I have more cause.
Thou hast not, cousin. Prithee be cheerful. Knowest thou not? The Duke hath banished me, his daughter.
That he hath not.
No, hath not? Rosalind lacks then the love that teacheth me that thou and I are one. Say what thou canst. I'll go along with thee.
Why, whither shall we go?
To seek my uncle in the forest of Arden.
Alas, what danger will it be to us, maids as we are, to travel forth so far? Beauty provoketh thieves sooner than gold.
I'll put myself in poor and mean attire, the like do you. So shall we pass along and never stir assailants.
Were it not better, because that I am more than common tall, that I should suit me all points like a man, and in my heart lie there whatever hidden woman's fear there will. We'll have a swashing and a martial outside, like many other mannish cowards have who do outface it with their silences.
And what shall I call thee when thou art a man?
I'll have no worse a name than Jove's own page. Now look, therefore, you call me Ganymede. But what will you be called?
Something that hath a reference to my state. No longer Celia, but Aliena.
Oh. But cousin, what if we essayed to steal the clownish fool out of your father's court? Would he not be a comfort to our travels?
He'll go o'er the wide world with me. Leave me alone to woo him. Now, let's away and get our jewels and our wealth together. Now, go we in content to liberty and not to banishment.
Now, my co-mates and brothers in exile, hath not old custom made this life more sweet than that of painted pomp? Are not these woods more free from peril than the envious court? Here feel we but the penalty of Adam, the season's difference, as the icy fang and churlish chiding of the bitter wind, which, when it blights and blows upon my body,
even till I shrink with cold. I smile and say, this is no flattery. These are counselors that feelingly persuade me what I am. Sweet are the uses of adversity. And this our life, exempt from public haunt, finds tongues in trees, books in the running brooks, sermons in stone, and good in everything. I would not change it.
Happy is your grace that can translate the stubbornness of fortune into so quiet and so sweet a style.
Come, let us go kill us venison. And yet, it irks me, the poor dappled fools, being native burghers of this center city, should, in their own confines, with forked heads, have their rumpled horns gored.
Indeed, melancholy Jakes grieves at that.
And says, you do more usurp than doth your brother who hath banished you.
Today, my lord of Amiens and myself did steal behind him as he lay along under an oak, whose antique root peeps out upon the brook that brawls along this wood. To the which place a poor sequestered stag, that from the hunter's aim had ta'en a hurt, did come to languish.
But what said Jakes? Did he not moralize the spectacle?
Indeed, into 1,000 similes.
'Tis right, quoth he, thus misery doth part the flux of company.
And a careless herd full of the pasture jumps along by him and never stays to greet him.
Aye, quoth Jake, sweep on, you fat and greasy citizens. 'Tis just the fashion. Wherefore do you look upon that poor and broken bankrupt there?
Thus most invectively he doth pierce through country, city, and court.
Yea, and of this our lives, swearing that we are mere usurpers, tyrants, and what's worse, to fright the animals and to kill them up in their assigned and native dwelling places?
Show me the place. I love to cope him in these sullen fits, for then he's full of matter.
I'll bring you to him, straight.
Can it be possible that no man saw them?
Your daughter and her cousin much commend the parts and graces of the wrestler that did but lately foil the sinewy Charles. That youth is surely in their company.
Send to his brother. Fetch that gallant hither. If he be absent, bring his brother to me. I'll make him find him. Do this expediently.
Who's there? What? My young master? Oh, you memory of old Sir Rowland. Oh, why? What make you here? Oh, what a world is this?
Why, what's the matter?
Oh, unhappy youth. Your brother hath heard your praises, and this night he means to burn the lodging where you used to lie, and you within it.
Why, whither, Adam, wouldst thou have me go?
No matter whither, so you come not here. I have 500 crowns. Here's the gold, and all this I give to you. Let me be your servant. Though I look old, yet I am strong and lusty.
Oh, good old man, how well in thee appears the constant service of the antique world. But, poor old man, thou prunest a rotten tree that cannot so much as a blossom yield. But, come thy ways. We'll go along together.
Go on, master, and I will follow thee to the last gasp with truth and loyalty.
Jupiter, how weary are my spirits.
I care not for my spirits if my legs were not weary.
I pray you bear with me. I cannot go no further. Well, this is the forest of Arden.
Aye, now am I in Arden. The more fool I. When I was at home, I was in a better place. But travelers must be content.
I be so good, Touchstone. But look, who comes here? A young man in an old and solemn talk.
That is the way to make her scorn you still.
Oh, but Karin, that thou knewest how much I do love her.
I partly guess, for I have loved ere now.
No, Karin, thou canst not guess. Being old, thou canst not guess. Though, but, yeah, in thy youth thou wast as true a lover. Yeah, how many actions most ridiculous hast thou been drawn to by thy fantasy?
Into 1,000 that I have forgotten.
No, Phoebe! Phoebe! Phoebe!
Oh, alas, poor shepherd. Searching of thy wound, I have by hard adventure found mine own.
And I mine. I remember when I was in love. I broke my sword upon a stone and bid him take that for coming a night to Jane's smile. And I remember the kissing of her batlet and of the cow's dugs that her pretty chopped hands had milked. And I remember the wooing of a peas cod instead of her, from which I took 2 cods and giving her them again, said with weeping tears, "Wear these for my sake." We that are true lovers run into strange capers. But as all is mortal in nature, so is all nature in love, mortal in folly.
Thou speakest wiser than thou knowest of.
I pray you, one of you, question yond man if he for gold will give us any food. I faint almost to death.
Hold on, you clown!
Peace, fool, he's not thy kinsman.
Who calls?
You're better, sir.
Else are they very wretched.
I prithee, sir, if that love or gold can in this wretched place by entertainment, lead us to where we may rest ourselves and feed.
I am shepherd to another man, and do not. I am shepherd to another man, and do not shear the fleeces that I graze. Besides, his coat, his flocks, and bounds of feed are now on sale, and in our sheepcote now there is nothing that you will feed on.
I prithee, if it stand with honesty, buy thou the cottage, the pasture, and the flock, and you shall have of us to pay for it.
Assuredly the thing is to be sold.
Yes.
Go with me. If you like, upon report, the soil, the profit, and this kind of life,
Yes.
I will your very faithful feeder be, and buy it with your gold, right suddenly.
Wonderful. Great. Come, sister, let's go.
Under the greenwood tree, who loves to lie with me, and tune his merry note unto the bird's throat. Come hither, come hither, come hither, here shall he see no enemy, but winter and rough weather. More, I prithee, more. It will just make you melancholy, Monsieur Jakes.
I thank it. More, I prithee, more. I can suck melancholy from a song the way a weasel sucks eggs. More, I prithee, more.
Well, I'll end the song. The Duke will drink under this tree tonight. He hath been all this day to look you.
And I have been all this day to avoid him. come, warble, come.
Who doth ambition shun, and love to live in the sun, seeking the food he eats, and pleased with what he gets? Come hither, come hither, come hither, here shall he see no enemy, but winter and rough weather. I'll seek the Duke. His banquet is prepared.
Dear master, I can go no further. Oh, I die for food. Here lie I down and measure out my grave. Farewell, kind master.
How now, Adam? No greater heart in thee? Live a little, comfort a little, cheer thyself a little. If this uncouth forest yields anything savage, I will either be food for it, or bring it as food for thee. Come, I will bear thee to some shelter. Cheerly, good Adam.
I think he be transformed into a beast, for I can nowhere find him as a man. Go seek him. Tell him I would speak with him.
He saves my labor by his own approach.
Why, how now, monsieur? What a life is this, that your old friends must woo your company? What? You look merrily?
A fool! A fool! I met a fool in the forest. A worthy fool who laid him down and basked him in the sun and railed on Lady Fortune in good terms.
What fool is this?
Oh, worthy fool, one that hath been a courtier, and in his brain is as dry as the remainder biscuit after a voyage. Oh, that I were a fool. I am ambitious for a motley coat.
Thou shalt have one.
It is my only suit. Invest me in my motley, give me leave to speak my mind, and I will through and through cleanse the foul body of the infected world.
Fie on thee. I can tell what thou wouldst do.
What for a counter would I do but good?
Most mischievous, foul sin, in chiding sin. For thou thyself hast been a libertine, as sensual as a brutish thing itself.
But who comes here?
Forbear, and eat no more.
Art thou
I
thus
have
bold?
not eat yet.
Nor shalt not till necessity be served.
Art thou thus boldened, man, by thy distress, or else a rude despiser of good manners, that thou... What?
You touched my vein at first. The thorny point of bare necessity hath taken my show of smooth civility. But forbear, I say, he dies that touches any of this food till I and my affairs are answered.
What would you have? Your gentleness shall force more than your force move us to gentleness.
I almost die for food. Let me have it.
Sit you down, and welcome to our table.
Speak you so gently? Pardon me, I pray you. I thought all things had been savage here. But whatever you are, that dwell in this desert inaccessible, if ever you have looked on better days, let gentleness my strong enforcement be, in the which hope I blush and hide my sword.
True is it we have seen better days, and therefore sit you down in gentleness, and take upon command what help we have, that to your wanting might be ministered.
Then but forbear your food a little while. There is an old poor man that after me hath many a weary step limped in pure love. till he be first sufficed, oppressed by 2 weak evils, age and hunger, I will not touch a bit.
Go find him.
I thank ye, and be blessed for your good comfort.
Thou seest, we are not all alone unhappy. This wide and universal theater presents more woeful pageants than the scene wherein we play in.
All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages. At first, the infant, mewling and puking in the nurse's arms, and then the whining schoolboy, with his satchel and smiling morning face, creeping like snail unwillingly to school. And then the lover, sighing like furnace, a woeful ballad made to his mistress's eyebrow. Then a soldier, full of strange oaths and bearded like the pard, jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation even in a cannon's mouth. And then the justice, in fair round belly with good capon lined, with eyes severe and beard of formal cut, full of wise saws and modern instances. And so he plays his part. The 6th age shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon with spectacles on nose and pouch on side, his youthful hose, well saved, a world too wide for his shrunk shank, and his big manly voice turning again toward childish treble, pipes and whistles in a sound. Last scene of all that ends this strange, eventful history is second childishness and mere oblivion, sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything.
Welcome. Sit you down and feed. And give us some music, and good cousin, sing.
Blow, blow, thou winter wind, thou art not so unkind. Thou art not so unkind as man's ingratitude. Thy tooth is not so keen, because thou art not seen. Thy tooth is not so keen, because thou art not seen. Although thy breath be rude, although thy breath be rude, although thy breath be rude. Hey-ho, sing hey-ho, unto the green holly, whose friendship is feigning, most loving mere folly. Then hey-ho, the holly, this life is most jolly. Then hey-ho, the holly, this life is most jolly.
Good old man, thou art right welcome to our table, as thy master is. Give me your hand, and let me all your fortunes understand.
Not see him since? Sir, sir, that cannot be. Find out thy brother wheresoe'er he is. Seek him with candle. Bring him dead or living within this 12-month, or turn you no more to seek a living in our territory.
Oh, that your highness knew my heart in this. I never loved my brother in my life.
Ha! More villain now. Well, push him out of doors. Do this expediently and turn him going.
Hang there my verse in witness of my love. Oh, Rosalind, these trees shall be my books, and in their barks my thoughts I'll character. Run, run, Orlando, carve on every tree the fair, the chaste, and unexpressive she.
And how like you this shepherd's life, Master Touchstone?
Truly, shepherd, in respect of itself, it is a good life. But in respect it's a shepherd's life, it's not. As it is a spare life, look you, it fits my humor well. But as there's no more plenty in it, it goes much against my stomach. Hast any philosophy in thee, shepherd?
No more but that I know, the more one sickens, the worse at ease he is. That he that wants money, means, and content is without 3 good friends, and that a great cause of the night is lack of the sun. That he that hath learned no wit by nature nor art may complain of good breeding, or comes of a very dull kindred.
Such a one is a natural philosopher. Was never in court, shepherd?
No, truly.
Oh, and thou art damned.
Nay, I hope.
No, thou art damned like an ill-roasted egg.
For not being at court? Your reason.
Why, if thou never wast at court, thou never sawest good manners. If thou never sawest good manners, why then thy manners must be wicked. And wickedness is sin, and sin is damnation. Thou art in a perilous state, shepherd.
You have too courtly a wit for me. I'll rest.
Oh! Wilt thou rest damned? God help thee, shallow man.
Sir, I am a true laborer. I earn that I eat, get that I wear. Owe no man hate, envy no man's happiness, and the greatest of my pride is to see my ewes graze and my lambs suck. Here comes young Master Ganymede, my new mistress's brother.
From the east to western end, no jewel is like Rosalind. Her worth being mounted on the wind through all the world by Rosalind. Let no fair be kept in mind but the fair of Rosalind.
I'll rhyme you so 8 years together. Dinners and suppers and sleeping doves accepted.
Out, fool.
For a taste. If a heart do lack a hind, let him seek out a Rosalind. If a cat will after kind, so be sure will Rosalind. Oh, this is a very false gallop of verses. Why do you infect yourself with them?
Peaceful, I found them on a tree. But look here comes my sister reading. Stand aside.
Tongues I'll hang on every tree, that shall civil saying show. Thus Rosalind of many parts by heavenly synod was devised, of many faces, eyes, and hearts. To have the touches dearest prized. Heaven would that she these gifts should have, and I to live and die her Slav.
Come, shepherd, let us make an honorable retreat.
Didst thou hear these verses?
I did, and more too.
But didst thou hear without wondering how thy name should be hanged and carved upon these trees? Try who hath done this.
Is it a man?
And a chain that you once wore about his neck.
I prithee who? Nay, tell me who it is. Tell me who it is!
wonderful, wonderful, and yet again wonderful. And after that, out of all hooping.
Good my complexion. Dost thou think because I'm comparisoned like a man that I should have a doublet and hose in my disposition? I prithee, tell me who it is, and speak quickly apace. Take the cork out of thy mouth, that I may drink thy tidings. Oh, is he of God's making? What manner of man is he? Is his head worth a hat and his chin worth a beard?
Nay, he hath but little beard. It is young Orlando that tripped up the wrestler's heels and your heart both in an instant. I' faith, cuz, 'tis he.
Oh, Orlando!
Orlando!
Alas the day. What shall I do with my doublet and hose? Oh. What did he when thou sawest him? What said he? How looked he? Did he ask for me? Where remains he? How did he part with thee? When are you going to see him again? Answer me in one word.
I found him under a tree like a dropped acorn.
Oh, it must well be called Jove's tree when it drops forth such fruit. Oh, proceed.
There lay he stretched along like a wounded knight.
Though it be a pity to see such a sight, it well becomes the ground. Speak, sweet, say on.
You bring me out.
Soft. Comes he not here? 'Tis he. Slink by and note him.
I thank you for your company, but good faith, I had as lief I had been left alone.
I do desire we may be better strangers.
I pray you mar no more trees with writing love songs in their barks.
I pray you mar no more of my verses with reading them ill-favoredly.
Rosalind is your true love's name.
Yes, just.
I do not like the name.
There was no thought of pleasing you when she was christened.
What stature is she of?
Just as high as my heart.
You are full of pretty answers. I'll tarry no longer with you. Farewell, good Signor Love.
I'm glad of your departure. Adieu, good Monsieur Melancholy.
I'll speak to him like a saucy lackey. Do you hear, Forester?
Very well. What would you?
I pray you, what is the clock?
You should ask me what time of day. There's no clock in the forest. Where dwell you, pretty youth?
But with this shepherdess, my sister, here in the fringe of the forest, like fringe upon a petticoat.
Are you native to this place? Your accent is something finer than could be purchased and so removed a dwelling.
I've been told so by many. In fact, an old religious uncle of mine taught me how to speak. One who knew courtship too well, for there he fell in love. I've heard him read many lectures against it. And I thank God I am not a woman, to be touched by so many giddy offenses as he has generally taxed their whole sex withal.
But can you remember any of the principal evils he laid to the charge of women?
No, there were none principal. They're all alike one another as halfpence are, with each one fault seeming monstrous, till his fellow fault came to match it.
I prithee, recount some of them.
I would not cast away my physic, but on those that are sick. But there is a man haunts the forest, who abuses our young plants by carving Rosalind on their barks, hangs odes upon hawthorns and elegies upon brambles, all forsooth deifying the name of Rosalind. If I could find that fancy monger, I'd give him some good counsel, for he seems to have a quotidian of love upon him.
I am he that is so love-shaked. I pray you tell me a remedy.
There are none of my uncle's marks about you. You taught me how to know a man in love.
In which cage of rushes I am sure you are not a prisoner.
What were his marks?
A lean cheek, which you have not. A blue eye and sunken, which you have not. A beard neglected, which you have not. And I forgive you for that, for simply having in beard as a younger brother's revenue. Then, your hose should be ungartered, your sleeve unbuttoned, your shoes untied, and everything about you demonstrating a careless dissolution. But you are no such man. You are rather point device in your accoutrements, as if loving yourself than seeming the lover of any other.
Fair youth, I would I could make thee believe I love.
Me believe it. You may as soon make her that you love believe it, which I warrant she is after to do than confess she does, for that is one of the ways in which women still give the lie to their consciences. But in good sooth, are you he that hangs the verses on the trees wherein Rosalind is so admired?
I swear to thee, youth, by the white hand of Rosalind, I am that he, that unfortunate he.
Love is merely a madness, and deserves as well a dark house and a whip as madmen do. And the reason they are not so punished and cured is that the lunacy is so ordinary that the whippers are in love too. But I profess curing it by counsel.
Did you ever cure any so?
Yes, one, and in this way. He was to imagine me, his love, his mistress, and I bade him come every day to my cote to woo me. Which case would I, being but a moonish youth, would grieve, be effeminate, changeable, longing and liking, proud, fantastical, apish, shallow and constant, full of tears, full of smiles, for every passion something, and for no passion truly anything. Would then love him, then loathe him, then entertain him, then forswear him, then weep with him, then spit at him, till I drave my suitor from a mad humor of love to a living humor of madness, which was to live in a nook merely monastic. And thus I cured him.
I would not be cured, youth.
Oh, I would cure you. If you would but call me Rosalind and come every day to my cote to woo me.
Now by the faith of my love I will. Tell me where it is.
Will you go?
With all my heart, good youth.
Nay, you must call me Rosalind. Come, sister, let's go.
And how, Audrey, am I the man yet? Doth my simple feature content you?
Your features? Lord warrant us, what features?
I would the gods had made thee poetical. Truly I do. For thou swearest that thou art honest. Now, if thou were a poet, I might have some hope that thou didst feign.
Would you not have me honest?
Oh, no, truly, unless thou wert hard-favored. For honesty coupled with beauty is to have honey the sauce to sugar.
A material fool?
Well, I am not fair, but I thank the gods I am honest.
To cast away honesty upon a foul slut were to put good meat into an unclean dish.
I am not a slut, but I thank the gods I am foul.
Well, the gods be praised for thy foulness. Sluttishness may come hereafter. But be it as it may be, I will marry thee. And to this end, I have been with Sir Oliver Mortex, the vicar of the next village, who has promised to meet me in this place of the forest and to couple us.
I fain would see this meeting.
Well, the gods give us joy.
Amen. A man may, if he were of a fearful mind, stagger in this attempt. For here we have no temple but the woods, and no assembly but horn beasts. Ah, here comes Sir Oliver. Sir Oliver Martex, you are very well met. Will you dispatch us here under this tree, or shall we go with you to your chapel?
Is there none here to give the woman?
I will not take her on gift of any man.
Truly, she must be given, or the marriage is not lawful.
Proceed, proceed, I'll give her.
Good Good even, good master, what you call it. How do you, sir? You are very well met.
Would you be wed, Motley?
As the ox has his bow, sir, the horse his curb, and the falcon her bells, man has his desires. And his pigeon's bill, wedlock would be nibbling.
And would you, being a man of your breeding, be married under a bush like a beggar? Get you to church and have a good priest that can tell you what marriage is.
I am not in the mind, but I were better to be married of him than of another. For he is not like to marry me well. And not being well married will be a good excuse for me hereafter to leave my wife. Oh. Come, sweet Audrey, we must be married, or we must live in bawdry. Farewell, good Master Oliver. I will not to wedding with thee.
"'Tis no matter. Their fantastical knave of them all shall flog me of my calling."
Never talk to me. I will weep.
Do, I prithee, but yet have the grace to consider that tears do not become a man.
But he said he would come this morning, and he comes not.
Nay, certainly there is no truth in him.
You think not? Not true in love?
Yes, when he is in, but I think he is not in.
You have heard him swear downright he was. I met the Duke this morning and had much question with him. He asked me what parentage I was, and I said, "Of as good as he." And he laughed and let me go. But why do we talk of fathers when there is such a man as Orlando?
Oh, that's a brave man. He writes brave verses, speaks brave words, swears brave oaths, and breaks them bravely. Who comes here?
Mistress and master, you have often inquired after the shepherd that complained of love. If you will see a pageant truly played between the pale complexion of true love and the red glow of scorn and proud disdain, go hence a little, and I shall conduct you.
The sight of lovers feed us those in love. Bring us to this sight. I'll prove a busy actor in their play.
Sweet Phoebe, Phoebe, do not scorn me, Phoebe. Do not. Say that you love me not, but say not so in bitterness.
"I fly thee, for I would not injure thee."
If ever, as that ever may be near, you shall meet in some fresh cheek the flower of fancy, then you shall know the wounds invisible that love's keen arrows make.
But till that time, come not thou near me, as till that time I will not pity thee.
And why, I pray you? Who might be your mother, that you insult, exalt, and all at once over the wretched? What? Though you have no beauty, must you therefore be proud and pitiless? Why, what means this? Why do you look at me like that? Odd's little life, I think she means to tangle my eyes too. No, proud mistress, think not upon it. And you, wretched shepherd, wherefore do you follow her? You are 1,000 times a proper man than she is a woman. 'Tis fools such as you that make the world full of ill-favored children. And mistress, know thyself. Fall on thy knees and thank heaven fasting for a good man's love. For I'll tell you friendly in your ear, sell when you can, you are not for all markets.
chide a year together. I had rather hear you chide than this man woo.
Oh, I pray you, do not fall in love with me, for I'm false in vows made in wine. Sister, come, let us go. Besides, I like you not.
Sweet Phoebe.
Huh? Oh, what sayest thou?
Sweet Phoebe, pity me.
Why, I am sorry for thee, gentle Sylvius. Sylvius, the time was that I hated thee. And yet it is not that I bear thee love. But since thou canst talk of love so well, thy company, which erst was irksome to me, I will endure, and I'll employ thee too. But do not look for further recompense than thine own gladness that thou art employed.
I would think it a most plenteous crop to glean the broken ears after the man the main harvest reaps.
Knowest thou the youth that spoke to me erewhile?
I have met him oft, but not very well.
Think not I love him, though I ask for him. It is a pretty youth. Not very pretty. He'll make a proper man. He's not very tall, yet for his years he is tall. And now I am remembered. He scorned at me. I marveled that I answered not again. I will write to him a very taunting letter, and thou shalt bear it. Wilt thou, Sylvius?
Oh, Phoebe, with all my heart.
I'll write it straight. The matter is in my head and in my heart. Go with me, Sylvius.
There will be a 10-minute intermission.